شتان بين النور والظلمات نزلت بذلك محكم الآيات يا غافلا والموت يطلبه أما فكرت فيما تمضي الساعات أقبل على الرحمن واطلب عفوه فعسى المهيمن يغفر الزلات.
سلام الله عليكم ورحمته وبركاته. الحمد لله حمد المستزيد عطاه وأشكره شكر من يرجو لقاه. أما بعد. To our brothers in faith, sisters in Islam, welcome back to the emergency room where a Muslim thinks of and believes that a minute in this room is more than even his own life. Why? Because we're in the month of Ramadan. This month of Ramadan to all believers around the world is better than dunya and dunya, whatever in the dunya and dunya itself. Why? Because there is a night in it is better than alfi shahr, as we will talk about that insha'Allah tabarak wa ta'ala in episodes to come. But today, emergency room will teach us the following. That sometimes, as Imam Ibn Rajab al-Hanbali said in Lata'if, a deed, virtuousness of it, or when we say this deed is virtuous deed, it may be virtuous not just by the concept of the deed itself, rather the time or the place where the deed is performed. Example, for you to pray Fajr in different masjid, you will never get the same amount of reward where that Fajr to be performed in Haram al-Makki or Haram al-Madani. Why? Because of the place. Likewise, time is very important when it comes to ibadah. So fasting in Ramadan is unlike fasting outside Ramadan. Why? Because of the time, the zaman. فَقَدْ تَكُونُ الْأَعْمَالُ مُضَاعَفَةً لِأَسْبَابٍ مِنْهَا شَرَفُ الْمَكَانِ وَشَرَفُ الزَّمَانِ. هذا ما قاله ابن رجب. Sometimes a deed will be considered virtuous, extra virtuous. Why? Because of the place where the deed is taking place, or the time that the deed is taking place. So you in Ramadan. Today in our 11th episode of Emergency Room, we are being informed in the hadith of Salman that others said marfu', though isnaduhu fihi maqal, but A'imma mention it. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was reportedly in hadith of Imam Ibn Khuzaymah rahimahullah that fasting itself is the month of, or the act of patience and as-sabr. So when it comes to Ramadan, Prophet ﷺ said, "Man tatawwa'a fihi bi khaslah kana kaman adda faridatan fima siwah, wa man adda fihi faridah kana kaman adda sab'ina faridatan fima siwah." Prophet ﷺ said here that whosoever performs non-obligatory deed, the deed that is not incumbent upon you, it's not forced, it's not compulsory, you don't have to do it, you just did it out of willingness, that deed will be just like you've performed a faridah, meaning mandatory act of worship outside of Ramadan. So let's say this is something, a nafilah that you will do, or maybe a charity that you will do in Ramadan would be considered like something mandatory that you have to do outside Ramadan. But in Ramadan, this is non-obligatory, it's not forced, but you just chose to do it. So that being done to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is something unique, it's just like a faridah outside Ramadan. But if what you're doing in Ramadan is faridah, it will be considered before Allah like you doing 70 faridah outside Ramadan. Will you allow this to pass without taking this opportunity? That's what emergency room is all about. That's the reason why we call it emergency, because this is something that you will need in your life. Likewise, on the day of Qiyamah, you will ask Allah for a minute, a second. Why? To come back to dunya, to rectify and have that. And if you were to be granted that opportunity, you would have regarded it better than even emergency room. So get to know a single deed in Ramadan, just by the virtue or by the virtue of you being in Ramadan is extra. Do not waste that time. So going to Allah with non-obligatory prayer or non-obligatory ibadah to Allah is like a faridah outside. But if it is a faridah in Ramadan, it's like 70 other faridah. So take this opportunity. Emergency room is calling you. هذا والعلم عند الله ثم الصلاة والسلام الأبدي ثم الصلاة والسلام الأبدي على محمد النبي الهاشمي وآله وصحبه أجمعين رب والحقنا بهم آمين. Include us in your prayer and also your dua when you break your fast or when you make your salat at-tahajjud or qiyam al-layl, and do not forget ink and the team of ink. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.